and then I'll change completely. No, I'm kidding.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Greetings, folks. Welcome back to the Jason Damico Show. This is a new venture in the sense of we're using Zoom technologies to do a little bit of a live stream recording situation and
A live stream recording.
a live stream recording, which really doesn't make any sense, but everything right now doesn't make any sense due to the coronavirus pandemic and what's going on. But we're moving strong, we're moving forward, and excited to be talking about this artist. And she is a singer-songwriter out of Greensboro, North Carolina. Has been playing guitar since the age of 5. Brings a blend of folk, Americana, country, and blues to her unique rasp and powerful sound. She possesses a pure vocal quality that is both distinct and mesmerizing. Become a crowd favorite at a variety of different venues throughout the Triad area of North Carolina. And she has performed at the Reeves Theater, Muddy Creek Music Hall, Blind Tiger, Main Cellar City Club, Gas Hole Room, etc. A whole bunch of other venues. Passion for singing and songwriting has her poised to make a big impact on the NC Tribe music scene and beyond. She's a creator and host of Spotlight Sessions, a bi-monthly singer-songwriter round that for the past year and a half has exposed the Triad to a plethora of talented singer-songwriters from the North Carolina area. And she's been hard at work at her first EP coming out, which is recording with Doug Williams at Electromagnetic Radiation Records in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And should be coming out in May. And we'll talk about that more in a second. Other than that, she feels she best represents herself as an artist with her collections of songs. Excited to have out in the world soon. Please welcome to the show.
Hello.
Miss Casey Noel.
It's very weird sitting here listening to you read a paragraph about me. I was like, what am I supposed to be doing while this is happening?
Luckily, if I did this correctly, you weren't seen until now because I
love that.
I hit the speaker view. So we'll see if I goof that up.
It's fine. Just leave this part in so they know that.
Right. Up, and I pressed it again. We'll see if I go like this. Apparently, and we won't know until it's until we see playback. But right now it'll show me, and then if you talk, like just go talk for a second.
Hello.
Then it should be you. But if I go like this, and you can't see it on your end, then it's both screens at the same time. Hopefully.
Wow.
But
technology. I was going to say science, but technology, science.
It's all related, you know. It's all stuff that I don't like dabbling in for the most part.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
By the way, I love the pink lights in the background.
Yeah, I tried to do something. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
What? I don't know. Welcome to my room.
Welcome to my room as well. You know, it's a little bit more bland than what's going on over there. Digging the pillows.
Yeah, I'm not impressed. No, I'm kidding.
Actually, here, wait a minute. You'll get a kick out of this.
I'm immediately impressed now.
I have no idea what you just said.
I said I'm immediately impressed now.
Okay. We got plenty of fluffy pillows.
Fluffy pillows and fluffy blankets. I'm impressed.
It's good soundproofing, you know.
That's true.
So beginning stages for you. First of all, I saw you on Go Triad? Is that the magazine? Really great cover, really great spread. And you know, saw a couple of videos online with some of the Americana music, and we haven't really had many Americana specific genre artists on the show. That was one of the main reasons why I wanted to bring you on. Let's just dive into your beginning stages as far as how you got into music, and then we'll get into some influences. But you know, how'd you get started?
Well, I started playing guitar when I was 5, and I started with classical, actually. And when I was really little, I was so small that I had to play like a toy guitar, like one of the little toy ones that you do. Like it was literally the crappiest guitar from like Toys and Company. I kid you not. And it was still too big. And I'm half Costa Rican, so my grandparents would visit all the time. And my grandfather came back from Costa Rica with like a tiny little guitar. And I still have it. It looks like a baritone ukulele. So I started classical and I liked it, but classical is classical. And there were times I wanted to quit and my mom made me keep doing it, luckily. And I switched to acoustic in like 8th grade, and I wasn't really, I liked it, but this is random, but I actually used to be my whole life is random. I used to be a ballroom dancer, actually, a Latin ballroom dancer, and that's what I really wanted to do. And then I realized, Casey, you live in North Carolina. No guys here dance. You'll never find a dance partner.
Well,
it's not happening.
You ready for this one? So I don't even know if I've said this on the show yet, but people who know me know this. So I have, like over 8 years worth of like intensive ballet, tap, and jazz training.
Where were you? We could have been dance partners.
When this was back in like, man, when was this? This was back in grade school. This is like when I was doing musical theater and all that other, a lot of like stage performance in theater. So I guess like 2000 and something to 2000 and like 2000 and I don't know, 1 or 2 to like 2010.
I don't remember anything about, you still had the training. We could have just killed it.
Now with the coronavirus, who knows?
Yeah, I know. You might be able to never dance with anyone again at this point.
Hey, if we end up seeing each other in person, I'll take you up on that.
You got it. We can go to a salsa club. Have you ever been to a salsa club?
I actually haven't. That sounds like fun.
Those are like the most fun.
That sounds like a good time.
Regular clubs. I hate regular clubs. Probably because I actually know how to dance, and it's just a bunch of like weird people at normal clubs. But salsa clubs are fun.
But believe me, I know. It's funny. I went to, not to go off on this tangent, but I went
yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I'm really bad.
No. It's fine. So like I rarely go out. Well, actually, I've kind of changed that. Like I go out a little bit more now, but I've rarely gone out over the years because I've just been hustling for a year, and I was in school at the same time, getting my business degree. So it was just like nuts for 5 years. Like just totally.
Oh yeah, I totally get it.
And I went out like for a few months, couple of nights out of the week for a few months over the last, I don't know. It was like actually right before all this happened. And I was just like, I'd go and I was like, why am I here?
Yeah, I know. I totally know what you're saying.
It's like if I'm not on stage playing, it's just like, hey, what? So I get what you mean.
It's like a break. You're like, the last thing I want to do is go out somewhere sort of similar with a bunch of people, but then I'm not even playing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's yeah. But a salsa club is different.
All right, so the musical side comes from your family and
my parents, neither of them play or are musical really. Okay. I will say my mom has a really good ear, but I have on my mom's side, I have she has a cousin who is in the New Orleans Symphony, and then I have another cousin who is an opera singer, and he's at Yale right now for opera. So somewhere it's in there, but yeah. But anyway, after I realized that ballroom dancing was not a thing, I couldn't really compete in that, which was actually like, I would say probably my first actual heartbreak. That was like the hardest thing I had to give up. But then I just immediately turned to music, and yeah, after that it was pretty much history.
Who were some of the main Americana influences for you?
Gosh, right now I am a huge Brandi Carlile fan. I love Brandi Carlile. I love Jason Isbell, Patty Griffin. I mean, there's so many, and Americana is like so hard to like.
Right.
I feel like it's just people. I mean, I can't define a genre, but I feel like most Americana artists I know just choose that as their genre because they're not what you would consider country nowadays, and they're not straight folk, and they're not straight singer-songwriter-y kind of vibes, so they just pick Americana kind of to like go in there. So like it's hard to pick like what you would say is an Americana artist for me anyway. But I love Simon and Garfunkel. Those are huge influences of mine. And then there's a band called Jamestown Revival, who I'm a big fan. That's like my dream to tour with them. I would love to open for them. That'd be awesome.
If we ever have an opportunity.
I know. Hey, Jamestown Revival, if you see this, hello. Yeah. If concerts happen again.
Strange times.
I know.
It's like
I know.
It was weird because it just hit me the other night, and I made like I'll send you the link. I made like I couldn't sleep. It was like 2:15 in the morning. It was in this room and just set up one of the cameras and just started ranting for like 12 minutes about COVID, and it was like half in a just sleep deprived stupor. But it hit me it hit me in that video. I was like wait,
is life gonna be normal?
This is actually happening. Yeah. It was weird.
Oh, another artist I'm loving right now, Yola. Have you heard Yola?
I've heard of the name.
She's amazing. She's like Aretha Franklin meets Patsy Cline meets I don't know what. Oh, meets CCR.
Wow.
Random, I know, but listen to her and you'll get it. CCR, another big influence. I love them.
Absolutely. I mean, John Fogerty, like,
dude,
you know, vocally, I just don't know. You know, he's like one of those guys to me. Just one of those. You think of like Robert Plant from Zeppelin or Mark Farner from Grand Funk, like those just incredible tenor voices that perfect for that. You know, just rock and roll genre.
Yeah.
You know,
Crosby, Stills, and Nash are another.
Oh yeah.
I think probably stuff. Helplessly Hoping is one of my all-time favorite songs.
What's it's funny that you say songs. I was going to ask you about your songwriting process as far as kind of what that is, because everybody's got a different one.
Yeah, it's I feel like it's like such a. I always ask people this too, but it's such a hard question to answer.
Yep.
I feel I feel for me anyway, I sort of have a set way that I typically write songs, but it's not that I set out that way. I think it's just how I best work. So for me, usually it starts with like a phrase that really hits me a certain way, and I'm like, oh, that would be great in a song. And then from there, I'll write it down. Usually I like to leave spaces in between. Like I like to let an idea settle and then revisit it. Yeah. So I'm not the fastest songwriter, and I firmly believe like you should never push a song if it's good and it's not going anywhere right now. I will just leave it alone and come back to it and start something new. And that actually, the coolest thing probably songwriting wise that I learned was probably I went to this camp in Catskills, Frets and Refrains, put on by Richard Thompson. And Patty Griffin was there, and all these like amazing songwriters were there. And I asked Richard Thompson like advice about like what to do when you're stuck on a song, if you should push it or not. Because some people have told me like just finish it and then you can go back and edit it. But I'm like such a perfectionist. That really stresses me out. Like it just doesn't feel right. And he was like, no, don't force it. He's like, but always have something in the works. He was like, if you're stuck, move on to something else, come back to it later. Always have some song that you have started that you can turn to and work on. So for me, I try to have a lot of different stuff written down, whether it's a couple lines, a song title, whatever, and then I'll revisit it. But
that's great.
yeah,
That is
typically.
that, and I say it's great probably because egocentrically speaking, and it's like the same thing that I do. So it's like,
Yeah.
and because I resonate with that, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, no,
oh,
I
that's
get it.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that's me. So
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's how I go about it as well. Because some people will sit there and they'll try and like do, I don't know, like they'll just sit down and go like, oh, I'm gonna write a song today.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. And we had Jessica Lynn on a couple of months ago. We're actually releasing hers this coming week. And
Yeah.
she's like international touring country artist, good friend of mine. And she said the exact same thing that you said. And I was like, wow, like, yeah, I totally get it, because same thing.
I just think for me anyway, all of the stuff that I want for my music, I want to love it too. I want it to be something that I would listen to and resonate with it and like the way it sounds. And for me, since it's coming from me, I have to like take breaks from it so that I can hear it sort of freshly, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you gotta have that perspective,
Yeah. So.
Well, the dog song, I wanted to bring that
Yeah.
up. That was
Yes.
that was pretty cool. It's sweet, it's
Yeah.
now, is it from the perspective of
Perspective
the
of a
dog
dog.
then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's
that's
what I
really
don't.
cool.
Yeah, I don't do. I hardly ever perform that one. It's not going to be on the EP, sadly. Maybe I'll record it
They
separately.
want to put it out as a single, yeah.
Yeah. But I love animals of all sorts. I could talk about animals as much as I could talk about music, but I have 2 rescue dogs. I have one little Basset Beagle mix and then one little Pit Bull mix, and he has 3 legs. So
Wow.
I love dogs. And that song, the animal shelter a couple years ago was having some sort of event. And my sister is a vet and she was helping out a lot. And she's like, you should write a song for this slideshow that we're doing. And I was like, yeah, I'll try it. And I came up with that. And that's like the first song that I think I've really written that I was like, this is my idea that I'm going to write a song about this. I usually don't, same like what you're saying, I'm going to write a song today. I usually don't go, I'm going to write a song about this.
Right.
It just never happens that way. Like sometimes I'll be like, I'm going to write a song about this and I'll put that idea away. But I can never just be like, I'm going to write a song about this. And then that comes out.
Right.
Usually it's like a year later, I'm like, oh yeah, I wanted to write a song about this. And this is what I'm writing about. So yeah, but it is from the perspective of a dog. And yeah, it makes people cry sometimes, which then I cry when people cry. So I'm like, please don't cry. I'm going to be on stage like crying. But it's a good one.
Yeah, no, let's see here. Knocked out a couple of bullet points while you were at it. Look at that.
Oh, sweet.
Let's talk about the new music then while we're still on the music thread.
Yeah. So the EP is going to be called Not Just Pretty Words. And it's going to be about 6 songs. And it's the first time I'm releasing music. I'm very excited about it. It's one of those things that I've had people telling me for a couple of years now. You need to get music out. You need to get music out. And it's now I look back at it and I'm so glad that I didn't just put music out. I think waiting was probably the best for me because I had songs that people liked and they were good. Like I can look at them and be like, those are good songs, but I didn't love them. And it wasn't what I wanted to put out. And I knew if I put it out, I would listen to it years later and be like, I don't want that out there. So I waited till I had music that I thought I can look back at and be proud of. And that's what I feel like these songs are. I think most of them were written over the past probably 3 years, which have probably been like the most, so much has changed the most for me probably in those 3 years. So I think because of that, that produces the best sort of songs.
Right.
But yeah, and Not Just Pretty Words is sort of one of the songs on it is called Pretty Words. And I sort of wanted that to be kind of like the title track, but at the same time I didn't want the title to be Pretty Words. And like, as a female musician, I have to be very careful that it's not, being a female musician is so complicated, but I didn't know, I was like talking to someone, and I was like, I don't want it to be like Pretty Words, like, you know what I mean? Like, and that's fine if you want to go for that, but I didn't want that.
Right.
I like, my songs have substance to them. I didn't want that title to give an idea, you know, and if that is what you want to do, if you want to just have songs that aren't super, that's fine. There's like a market for everything, but that wasn't the market I was going for. And you have to be very, all those decisions I feel like really define where you go in terms of, so I was like, and so I was talking to her, actually, a good friend of mine, she's an amazing musician, her and another friend of mine who's a musician, Abigail Dowd and Jane Kramer, they're amazing. But I was talking to Abigail, she was asking me what I was going to call it, and I told her basically the same thing. And she was like, I get it. You don't want to be just Pretty Words. And I was like, not just Pretty Words. There we go. That's it. After that, it just came to me, and my friend Jane was like, you'll know it when it comes to you. You'll know it. And as soon as I heard her say that, I was like, not just Pretty Words.
Yeah.
There we go. But yeah.
What's the instrumentation? Is it more acoustic and vocal, or full blown out band?
It's full blown out band, actually. Yeah, I was excited. I play by myself all the time, which gets lonely. No, I would love to have a band. And I wanted, a lot of the songs I knew were written in the hopes of one day having a band, so I wanted to be able to put out music that people could be like, she could have a band or whatever. Like, this is what she would sound like with a band, basically, for bigger stuff. And there's some people that I've been playing with now that, you know, when this whole mess is over, hopefully, maybe they'll be part of my band or whatever. But I have electric guitar. I play acoustic guitar. I have mandolin on one, fiddle on one, bass on all of them, drums on most of them. I have 2 or 3 more mellow songs that don't have. One song, though, that I'm really excited about has bowed bass on it, which the song is very eerie. I don't know. I'll have to send it to you separately so you understand what.
Sure.
The mix is almost done, but the song is actually about a book that I read like 2 years ago. And now it's been like #1 on the bestsellers list, called Where the Crawdads Sing. If you like to read, I recommend it. It's
send me a
amazing.
Link.
It's amazing. But just the way she writes is amazing. But I wrote a song about it, and it's basically about this girl who, it's from a while ago. I can't remember like what time period it's centered in. But she basically grows up in a marsh. So the song sort of has that like swampy kind of feel.
Yeah.
But it's a slow song. And the bowed bass adds that like really cool, like heavy kind of texture underneath.
So that was bass, like, is that the
it's like an upright bass.
It's like a double bass with the yeah.
So cool. That was one of those that I think for me the most fun has been adding instruments to it and arranging it myself. And it was what I was most nervous about, because I was like, I've never played with like a band. I don't know enough about each instrument to be like, do this. But so, that sounded so stupid. So I was like, you know what? I made a playlist on Spotify. This is actually, not that you're asking me for this or anyone is, but probably I think the best thing that I did was make like an EP vibe playlist is what I called it. And it's basically songs the way they're produced, the way like they're arranged, instruments that I thought went nicely with what I was going for with my songs. So I was like, okay, I would listen to this playlist for hours and I'd be like, what do I like about this song? Like, what is in it that is like boosting whatever vibe the song is giving?
Right.
So there were certain songs that I was like, it's the mandolin there. And Pretty Words is one of the songs I have mandolin on. I was like, that would be good for Pretty Words. So I basically just tried to listen and figure out what would sound best. But with that song, it was a lot of working together with Doug and then my electric guitar player. He went in and did a bunch of different like takes of electric. He did some like what we called whale sounds and like spooky sounds, and then we ended up taking like just the reverb from all of that and using that in the background, and then like one really cool solo that he did for like a break, and then we had the bowed bass.
It sounds really interesting.
Yeah, it was
got me
really
curious
cool.
Now.
Yeah, and I feel like it sounds broken down like that, not like an Americana song, but it really does end up sounding like
there's
one.
so much genre overlap nowadays.
Yeah. And I hate genre. I hate like when people are like, what genre are you? I'm like, ugh.
Yep.
I don't know.
Same. Well,
and I get why people ask, but it's like, I don't know. I don't want to pick one either, because then it's like you have to. That's kind of why I pick Americana, because I feel like no one really knows what it is, so I can do whatever I want.
Well, it sounds awesome. Definitely send me some links. And this is
I will.
This is coming out in May, allegedly. But now,
now I'm like,
yeah.
So, yeah. Well, for one, I was paying for it a lot with gigs that got canceled because of COVID.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we'll see about that. I'm looking into like different things, but I think it'll still be out May. Just I was planning like early May, and now I'm not so sure. I don't think that I need to go back in the studio for anything. I think I have everyone's pieces down and we're just mixing. But I also don't want to say that for sure, because there might, as I like go listen through, there might be something that I just can't stick with that I want to redo. So we will see. I'm excited about it. I just don't want to put it out just because of this going on.
Right.
Like if I need to go back in, I want to go back in. But if I don't need to go back in, then I don't know. It's like such a weird time.
It really is. And I was going to because as we kind of wrap up before Zoom kicks us off.
Yeah.
Future plans is kind of like one of the last bullet points. It's like, I don't even know why I asked this question now, because if anything, and there's always been witty guests that have been on the show where it's like, future plans, like the only thing you can expect is change. And it's like, yeah, I know, but sometimes it's good to have a 5 or 10 year plan down the road. At least that's how I try to think.
Yeah, I at least like to have like a couple goals.
This changed everything.
Yeah, then I was gonna say most of my goals are like,
forget it. Like, it's until things change. So let me do the quick shootout with you. I'm curious to see what you're going to say about this. I'll say one word that's industry related, and then you just say like literally one or two words back, like just first thing that comes to mind.
Okay, this could be interesting.
Guitar.
Molly Tuttle, because she is a beast on guitar.
Send me some links. I haven't even heard of her before.
She is a badass. Oh my gosh. She's this bluegrass flat, like she can do all sorts of picking, but when I tell you she can outplay like any dude, she can outplay any dude. Like I know.
Send me some links.
Yeah, she's insane. She's
vocal.
Insane. That's vocal. Raw vocals. I don't know.
Hell yeah.
Brit, I don't know.
Song.
Last of My Kind, Jason Isbell. It's one of my favorites.
Microphone.
The first word that came to me was sure, but I don't even have a sure. I have a Sennheiser.
There you go. It's a 58.
Classic.
Stage.
Ryman. Auditorium. Dream Stage. Well, Red Rocks too.
Yeah.
That's like number one.
I
want to see a show there and play.
If we ever can, ever again. It's weird, man.
I know. I know.
North Carolina.
Kind of sucks. Just kidding. I for music anyway. Astro's doing pretty good.
Have you been to Raleigh?
Yeah.
There's a lot of venues out by our way.
I would say I need.
Not that it matters now.
I know.
It's like,
I need to look in. Well, do I need to look into it? Hey guys, and like, well, if this clears up, do you want to have me play at your place? If you have money to pay me, like,
yeah, I mean, half of them may unfortunately not be around. It's crazy.
Yeah, I play at like a bunch of awesome breweries, and I'm like, I know that they're super stressed and worried, and it just sucks. But
I've got one more for you.
Oh, okay.
Dogs.
The best. If you have beluga whales, that's my other passion is beluga whales. And I could go on about beluga whales.
So I have the last question for you. Hopefully we don't get kicked out because we're approaching that. They don't have like a timer on here, so it's like
okay.
But if you could go back in time to your 15-year-old self, knowing what you know now, what would you tell her? As far as like advice.
You know what? I would tell her, keep doing what you're doing. Because at 15, I was in high school and I had all these big dreams. And I really just focused on working towards those. And I had really decided to figure out who I was at a young age. Because I don't know, I wasn't into partying. I wasn't into all of that. I just really wanted to do music and I wanted to dance. And yeah, I would say just focus on that and on genuine people. That's what I would tell my 15-year-old self, is to keep working hard and to keep just being yourself.
That's awesome. That's great.
Okay.
When this goes on YouTube, you send me the information for the description box, like
okay,
links and all that. And
got it.
We will get everybody synced up. Looking forward to the new music.
Yeah. I'll send you the link so you can hear. Definitely let me know what you think, because any feedback, I love it. So.
Well, you are our first
hopefully
virtual remote interview.
Yeah, hopefully
everything
being well.
Hopefully
I don't make too many
like
weird faces.
bounces.
Yeah, I know. I feel like I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't talked to anyone in like so long. And I already have a very expressive face, and so
you and I both. My eyebrows can get like
for me, I just sometimes, and it's true. If you this is so random. Moana, the movie Moana.
Yeah.
The Disney movie Moana. People tell me that I look like her.
People always told me that I looked like Gaston Aladdin or something.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah.
If you're tanner.
Yeah.
I can see it. Yeah, for me it was Moana, and I make the same facial expressions, which is not a good thing necessarily because she's a cartoon character. But it can be entertaining, and I think it adds to my storytelling. But when it's captured, sometimes it's not great. So, but like when I saw that movie in theaters with my family, my mom was sitting beside me because we love Disney movies, and she just kept staring at me the entire time. She was like, and I was like, "Could you stop?" Like, it's just weird because you make that okay, I'm creeped out, and yeah, it is true.
That's crazy.
I get it.
I'll have to watch. It's been like literally 20
You should watch
years
it,
since I've seen
Disney
that.
Plus.
Well, wait a minute.
You
When did
have
that
to.
come out?
Like a couple. This one was a newer one. This
But
is the
that
one.
series, wasn't that series around like 20 years ago or something?
Moana?
Wasn't it?
No, no, I don't think
I'm
so.
getting it mixed up with Milan.
No, no,
Don't
no,
don't listen to me.
no. But that's a good movie too.
That's
Princess
Disney
and the
too, right?
Frog.
Isn't that Disney?
Yeah, the
Okay.
best underrated Disney movie is Princess and the Frog for music.
Yeah.
It has like New Orleans like jazz. It's a good
Cool.
soundtrack. I literally just took you on another tangent.
No, we're basically done here.
Yeah.
The thing's gonna kick us off, but
Yeah.
hey, this was great. Thanks for being a
Yeah.
part of the show. And
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was fun.
yeah, well, let me stop recording here, and we'll see if it'll kick us out after that. But
Sweet.
thanks, guys, for tuning in. Let's see if I can go to the right view here, and we will see you all on the
Thanks.
next one. Peace.